What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 132, and today we are returning with one last look at the save after our Champions League win with Real Madrid over RB Leipzig cemented a league and European double at the Bernabeu, and after 8 seasons in this Career Mode save, we are going to call time with Roberto Gutierrez and the gang. So in today's episode, what you'll see is what's going on around world football right now, league standings of major European leagues, Real Madrid's final look at the squad. We end with also a look at Brentford and Milan's team, and also some Wonderkids in the game, where they've turned out and how they're currently getting on. Lots to get through, so let's just get straight to it. And just real briefly, I want to start with this. The Champions League Golden Boot was won by Roberto this season. He overtook Gabriel Jesus. It's really funny because he started 4 of our 6 games in the group, and I think he only scored once or maybe twice in the group. And then in the knockout stages, the dude just went absolutely ham. Ended up surpassing Gabriel Jesus' 9 for 11 in 11 to win the Golden Boot and win the assist title. Streniak won the clean sheet, the Golden Glove, I should say, as well. So as I run you through Real Madrid's team one final time, we do stats of the team and also look at the team sheet as well. And I must say, there are so many players in this team that I am so happy with that we got in our first season or we bought in our one season. And my favourite, well, one of my favourites is this guy right here, Streniak. You know, in 8 seasons in career mode, I spent 1 year with this guy. He's my favourite goalkeeper. David Raya was fantastic. Mike was great at AC Milan. Justin Bale was really good as well. But Streniak, my all-time favourite goalkeeper. And at 23 years old, there's no doubt he would have become a 90 overall goalkeeper. But I absolutely loved Streniak. I thought it was incredible this year. Got an assist, of course, lest we forget as well. I thought it was brilliant. Alessandro, who of course we had with AC Milan, moving on to Real Madrid. He was our Casemiro. We converted him to CB. What a decision that was after the injury to Castaneda. Sergio Ramos' regen up to 89 overall at just 23 years old. Back where he belongs. Castaneda from Milan to Real Madrid. Gutted about the broken toe because he would have developed without it, but even so, 84 overall. Like Alessandro, bought him here from the San Siro and turned him from holding him into CB. Great decision. Wagnerman filled in really well for Pedro, made of glass Porro this season, because Pedro had 2 lengthy injuries, hence why he didn't grow, and Wagnerman capitalised and ended up starting more games than a former Man City fullback in the end. He only played 16 times this season, Pedro Porro. I'm gutted I don't get to develop this guy, by the way. Victor Ibanez shows great potential, but I think the dynamic potential could easily end up becoming an exciting prospect in this team. I gave him quite a lot of game time, particularly off the bench, and I really liked him a lot. I thought he was a great young player. Mikel Merino, the vet of this team. Valverde up to 91 overall, still growing at 30 years old. One of the Real Madrid originals in this team, who of course we inherited. I still can't believe I got this guy for free. I still can't believe it. 7 goals in 9 in the Champions League. And whilst he didn't play too much domestically, he was a key reason why we got out of our group convincingly and progressed all the way to the final, which of course he started and got an assist in as well. Alberto Quiroga, given to us for free by Bruno Lage. What a fantastic piece of business that was. Melamed, of course, replaced Dominic in this team at the start of the season. He might have finished a rating lower than Hungarian, but he certainly wasn't any worse on the pitch. Nakai, one of the players we inherited. Sergio Arribas as well, plus Musa too, Ansu Fati. That's the most bizarre part of this timeline. The former Barca Wonderkid doing it at the Bernabeu and doing it brilliantly. 5 in 10 in the Champions League, plus 6 assists and 2 in the final. Sorry, 1 in the final as well. 21 goals and 7 assists in 36 La Liga games as well. What a season from the 26-year-old right now making a name for himself at the Barcelona's rivals, Real Madrid. Correa, Neymar's regen, sad on never to get to develop him fully. Ferran Torres, who as we know, is going to Barcelona in real life. 10 assists this season in La Liga to go along with 7 goals as well. Feel sorry for this guy. Whoever's going to be backup striker for Roberto Gutierrez wasn't going to play much. He only got 6 games all season long. Dear oh dear. But, of course, the star of the show, not Mascara, but Roberto Gutierrez. 11 in 11 plus 7 assists in the Champions League. Won the Golden Boot in his 3rd in 4 years for 3 different teams. Plus 33 and 25 assists in La Liga. 48 goals, 33 assists in 52 games and growing our rating to 94 overall as well. If we were to continue, I asked the question, Just how good could this guy have got? Are you sitting there thinking maybe 99 overall? I'm not sure. Now 26 years old. He's not maxed out. I still think I could grow him a couple more ratings, but I'm probably saying the ceiling would be around 96 overall to 97 overall. I mean, he's got 99 finishing and 99 attacking position. I mean, 99 ball control. The dude is literally almost flawless. And he was at Brentford, the man in the shadows to Tony, then became the star at Milan, and then the football superstar, the world's best in the game at Real Madrid. Roberto Gutierrez. One last time. I love it. And you know, with AC Milan in our first season, I talked about how I possibly could have done things better with the squad, and I think a lack of depth was the reason why we struggled to compete on multiple fronts and in the end only won the Europa League. With Real Madrid, I have to say, I think I did everything almost flawlessly this season. You know, the sale of Dominic to bring in Nico Melamed. We changed our entire back four. All of these back four were new signings this season. And all the players we inherited, we didn't decide to discard them in the first season. Even the vets like Marino and Valverde and Torres and Fati, of course, remaining on the wings as well. We picked some great Spanish free agent talent. We got Quiroga for free after giving Morgan Jackson to Wolves. What a deal that proved to be. And in the end, I love how the team finished. 20 of our 30 players were Spanish. We built a Spanish core. We reduced the average age. We signed a few Galacticos. I think for transfers in this Real Madrid season, it was 10 out of 10. Almost perfect. So I'm going to show you the winners of the domestic cups in Spain and also the European cups before we go on to the European leagues as well. As you know, we won La Liga. That's the Super Cup, of course. Atletico knocked us out in the semis and they completed a domestic cup double this year. They won the Super Cup, beating Rayo Vallecano, and they beat Real Valladolid in the final as well. Obviously, Barca knocked us out in the quarters, and in the end, they got knocked out by Real Valladolid. So Diego Simeone winning a domestic cup double there this season at Atletico Madrid. As for the Super Cup, also we know Brentford won that. They beat Milan, our former two career mode teams meeting. I'm gutted we never got to face Brentford again after leaving them. But maybe that's a good thing. I'm not sure I would have played very well against a team I've got such a soft spot for now. But as for the Europa Conference League, that was won by Liverpool this season, meeting Stade Reims in the final 4-3, just like our Champions League final. I wonder if Stade Reims came out from 4-0 down to make that scoreline respectable like Leipzig did. Europa League, oh my god, you're joking, no way! Lyon beat Wolves 4-3 in the final. What's with these 7-goal thrillers in European finals here? That's brilliant. And wow, that's amazing. What a coincidence. And as for the other leagues, well, this is how the major European leagues looked in our final season of career mode. Manchester City won the Premier League this season. Ivan Toney moved on to Everton, as we remember. They ended up finishing in 8th, but for Brentford, goodness gracious me, couldn't even finish in the top 10. Guys, it's so annoying when the team gets like mismanaged a little bit, if you know what I mean, in FIFA Career Mode after you left them. PSG, 13 points clear of Marseille. Of course, we could have joined them in the summer. I did consider PSG in the summer. In the end, I'm glad I chose Real Madrid. I think I made the right choice there. PSG winners of La Liga, and Bayern Munich won the Bundesliga as well. So it's interesting. The other two teams I was considering joining both bounced back. PSG and Bayern had poor domestic seasons last year, but they both bounced back to win their respective top-tier leagues in their countries this season. As for the Serie A, AC Milan, oh my goodness, finished in 5th place as Atalanta were champions, and Inter, who I called the best team in Italy, even after our 2 years with Milan, I still thought they were the best. 4 points behind Atalanta, the eventual winners. Milan, not even qualifying for the Champions League. That's absolutely wild. But I'll do a few more leagues whilst I'm here as well. We'll do the Dutch League, the Eredivisie. Ajax were champions this year, 4 points clear of PSV in the Netherlands. We will do the Portuguese League, which was won by Sporting this year. Goodness, we're at Porto. Oh my god. I've never seen that before. Normally it's either always Benfica or Porto, and rarely it'll be Sporting. Benfica finished 4th and Porto finished 9th. Blimey, it's all changed in Portugal, isn't it? That's a bizarre one, that one. As for the Scottish Premier League, that was won by Celtic. That never changes, though. That's the one certainty. Celtic or Rangers always win the Scottish Premier League. This year, it is Celtic winning it, Rangers runners-up. And as for we did the Turkish Super League and the MLS as well. Başakşehir were the winners of the Turkish Super League this season. Fenerbahce were runners-up, and as for the MLS, that was on it. Obviously, it's the January, isn't it? Yeah, the MLS always is the start of the season, or well, the beginning of the season, at the end of most European league seasons. So yeah, at the moment it's Portland Timbers off to a great start. 1 point clear, of course, only a few games in there in America. Right, should we look at some Wonderkids then? No, before we do that, let's see Milan's team and also Brentford's team as well. So of course we'll start off with our former team, who of course we left in the summer, AC Milan. Now naturally we met them in the Champions League at round of 16, so naturally this will be the same team you saw back then. Mike is still there at 91 overall, as we know. Fernandez still there at 84 overall. Theo Hernandez 91. Tapsoba 89. We gave them Robertson in the summer, 82 as well. Got a few left backs there, but Milan Skriniar, as we remember, is there as well. As for their midfielders, they've signed Fabian this year at 86 overall, but Ricky and Rovella are both there. This guy scored against me in both legs in our Champions League last 16 battle. Sandro Tonali is still there. That's good to see at 88 overall. So that's this Julius Schneider and Stanley Young from Brentford to Milan, but didn't make the jump to the Bernabeu. Callum's still there, as is Moise Keane, and as is Messi's regen. He's got to 90 overall at 20 years old. Oh, mate, that's absolute class, that is. Oh, we're talking about Gutierrez. How good can he get? How good can this guy get? 99 overall? That's definitely a possibility, no doubt. Right, let's see how Brentford have been massacred, shall we? It's like sometimes you leave a club and they can do quite well. But to be fair, Brentford won the Europa League last year, and they also won the Super Cup this year. But why they struggled so much domestically, I don't know. Well, as we know, they bought Courtois off us in the summer, 88 overall. I think we made the right decision selling him there to the Community Stadium. Raya is still there as well. They'll still have quite a few of the youngsters that came out of the academy, but they've signed Juan Foyth, they've signed Alejandro Francis, James Justin is still there, as is Tariq Lamptey. They've signed Kasuno. Ryan Niambe is still there, one of our first ever signings with Brentford as well. Although I noticed they've lost Rico Henry. Nicolo Barella was signed this summer by them as well. Tom Davis is still there as well. They've signed Bruno Guimaraes, interestingly enough. Of course, they signed Kessie. We saw that when we were at AC Milan. That's interesting indeed. Maitland-Niles is still there. I'd love to see that. I know that Onyeka and Ndidi have both left, but Declan Rice was signed as their new defensive midfielder. I love that sign, to be fair. This is the guy I wanted, by the way, in January. This is the striker I wanted to replace Sam Greenwood with, but Brentford picked him up. How typical is that? He looks great. Evan Nilsson was signed by them, as was Raspadori, as Ricky J. Jones is still there as well. Raspadori was signed at 88 overall. It's so funny because I wanted Humberto at Real Madrid and Brentford signed him. And I wanted Raspadori at Milan and Brentford signed him. They signed two of the strikers I wanted for the two teams we left. But Ollie Watkins is still there though. That's really nice to see as well. As for the shocker, Ivan Toney. Well, as we know, I was going to replace Sam Greenwood with either Humberto or Toney. In the end, I couldn't get neither. Ivan was signed for the January window by Everton. He's still got some incredible stats at 86 overall. We'll quickly take a look at his player profile as well. 6'2", 5-star weak foot, high work rates, and at 33 years old. The shocker. I would have loved to have brought him back once again for one final season to the save, but physical monster, technically brilliant, so athletic, and just a great player. One of the best aerial players I've ever used in FIFA. He was amazing in our 5 years Brentford. And, you know, it's so rare for me to have a player who is a dual hero, like he does it in two different saves. Ordinarily, once I've had a hero, I've had a legend, he's specific to that save, and we never see him again. Ivan Toney, the rare exception, but he justified it in this save, no doubt about it. Right, let's go look at some Wonderkids then. There's a lot that I've just put on the shortlist, and I'll show you where they've ended up. I won't go through every single one in the game, but the vast majority of the highest potential players. You'll notice that quite a lot of them are still at their original clubs. Kylian Mbappe is still at Paris Saint-Germain. Where do you think he'll be next season, by the way? The world is his oyster when he leaves PSG on a free transfer. Some people still think he'll do a U-turn and stay at the Parc des Princes. Personally, I think he's going to go to Real Madrid. That's my personal opinion, but you guys can let me know where you think he's going. Erling Haaland is also still at his current club. He hasn't left Borussia Dortmund in the save. 28 years old, 93 overall. Gigi Donnarumma, as we know, we considered trying to bring him back with AC Milan last season. It was never going to happen. The fans would never have him back. Still at PSG in the save, 93 overall. Phil Foden, still at the Etihad Stadium, highest rated English player in the game now, 92 overall, absolutely rapid talented, so agile, great ball control and dribbling, and still doing it for Pep's Manchester City. Kai Havertz is still at Chelsea, 29 years old, 92 overall. Like Phil Foden, great on the ball, great dribbling the ball as well. So much flair he possesses. Trent is still at Liverpool, now 30 years old. God, how time flies. 30 years old and the best fullback in the game at this point in the save. Pedri has moved on to Liverpool from Barcelona. Solid player, amazing pass to the ball, fantastic energy as well, and again, great dribble of the ball with those high work rates. João Felix often leaves Atletico in my saves, and I ordinarily find he ends up at Liverpool, but in this save decided to stay at Atletico Madrid and won the Copa del Rey and Supercopa this year. 91 overall, 29 years old. Jadon Sancho still at Old Trafford after his move from Borussia Dortmund, now 29 years old and 91 overall as well. Fio, as we know, is still at AC Milan. He was there for the 2 years we were at the San Siro, and he looks absolutely incredible in those 2 years. And at 91 overall, 31 years old, still got it. Gravenberch has moved on from Ajax to Atletico Madrid, and I can see that. I can see that happening. Great young talent. Fantastic young talent Ajax have got. 27 years old in the game, 90 overall at 6'3" with 4-star. You gotta love it. Vinicius is at Manchester City. Now I considered bringing him back with Real Madrid when we had that monster budget to work with in the summer, but then I thought, Fati and Torres, I think he probably will be coming off the bench. And at 90 overall, it's going to be hard to have a 90 overall player sat on the bench who in the end left him at the Etihad. Matthias de Ligt is still at Juventus. Lots of question marks over his future. Many people believe he's going to leave Juventus in the summer. Absolute brilliant defender though. 99 jumping, solid player trait, medium high, 6'2", 90 overall. Deo Upamecano is still at Bayern Munich at 30 years old and 90 overall as well. Mikel Oyarzabal is still at Real Sociedad. And in next season's career mode save, he'll be in the Segunda Division after they got relegated this year in our La Liga campaign this season. That's absolutely wild. Federico Chiesa is now at North London playing for Arsenal at the Emirates. 89 overall, 31 years old. I wanted to sign him with Milan. We just never had the money to pull it off at the right time, so he remained at the Emirates. And Florian Wirtz is also at Real Sociedad. Can you believe that? Oyarzabal and Wirtz, if we were to carry on next season, would be in the Segunda Division. How wild is that? Florian Wirtz and Oyarzabal going down with a sinking ship there. Jude Bellingham now turns out for Inter Milan, as we saw at AC Milan. I think he scored against me as well in one of the Milan derbies. Just a tremendous young talent moving on from Germany to Italy. Camavinga, who I also wanted to bring back, now turns out for Everton, the superb young French midfielder with the high work rate, so much energy, and a great defence-minded player as well. Great passer of the ball too, is now at Goodison Park. Kulusevski from Juventus to Liverpool. I've always been a massive fan of this guy, really rated his game. Very good young talent, now turning out at Anfield. Mason Greenwood has swapped Old Trafford for the Metropolitano. Now turns out for our Madrid rivals Atletico. 27 years old in the prime of his career and 89 overall. Jules Koundé is now at Barcelona, 89 overall. Great young centre-half. And Militao, who I also considered bringing back, 89 overall, but now 31 years old. He's still in Spain, but he's now at the Mestalla. I think he moved there this season, though, didn't he? Yeah, from Manchester City, I think it was. Bastoni is now at Bayer Leverkusen, 6'3", medium-high work rate. He's a team player, great, solid young defender, now playing at the Bayer Arena. Alphonso Davies, the pride and the future of Canada. Love this guy, man. Really do. 4-star high-low work rate. He's now in North London, but at Spurs, not at Arsenal, doing it for Tottenham Hotspur. Mason Mount from Chelsea to Barcelona. Obviously, we saw him the past couple of years with AC Milan and now Real Madrid as well, turning out for the Catalan Giants. And Marcus Rashford is still at Old Trafford, 31 years old, 89 overall. Brilliant stats. Great player. And those are the Wonderkids, and where they are 8 seasons in to this career mode save. Most of them, I would say, are quite realistic destinations. I mean, not all of them. Some are a bit far-fetched, but even so. So I don't really know what we're going to end on, to be honest. I mean, obviously we're done. We've built an incredible team with Real Madrid. Maybe show the team sheets of the 3 teams we've managed. So we look at Brentford, for example. They really butchered that team. What is Ryan Niambe doing playing holding mid? Why is Declan Rice can play centre-half, but even so, they butchered that team. Look how they massacred my boy! Oh, my boys, I should say. Unbelievable. As for Italy and AC Milan as well, this is how they turn out after the year we left them. They, to be fair, are still really good. I'd swap Schneider and Ravella around, personally, but even so, probably have Ramirez up top as well. I don't know why Lefebvre is starting up top. Should be Ramirez, I'd say. Well, I love the fact that Milan Skriniar is now AC Milan captain. What a wild time this is. The amount of players that play for rival teams in this save is ridiculous. Last year in the Champions League final, Manchester United had 3 Man City players in their team. It was ludicrous. But as for, of course, Real Madrid, 90, 87, 85, a 5-star team. The defence was our weakest area this season. Wasn't a real surprise. We did have injuries, though. Porro missed most of the season. Castaneda missed 3 months as well. So not too surprising that our defence was the weakest part. That's what I look to improve in the summer if I could. But for the most part, it's a brilliant team. And I would say right now, the best team in the world. And that's why I think the time's right to call time on Real Madrid, but call time on the save as well. After 3 Champions Leagues won in 4 years, we are done. It's been an incredible, incredible series. We've won so much domestically and in Europe as well. And what a save it has been. In our first season with Brentford, we struggled, but we managed to avoid relegation and ended up finishing in 14th place. In our second season, we had a really good sort of second season syndrome. We only just missed out on a top 10 finish in the end. In the third season, as you remember, we had a great season and narrowly missed out on the Champions League, but did qualify for the Europa League. And in that fourth season, that's when things really started to kick into gear in the save. We won the Carabao Cup, our first honour of the save. We finished in the top 4 that year as well, finishing runners-up. And in the following season, Season 5, that was when I knew we're winning this now. We're going for this now. A treble with Brentford in our 5th season of the save. And then we moved for the first time in the save to AC Milan for Season 6. As you can see at the San Siro in our first year, we of course failed quite poorly, actually. We got to the Coppa Italia final, we were humbled by Inter Milan. We also finished several points behind them in the Serie A as well. And whilst the Europa League just about kept me in my job, I knew in the second season I was going to dominate. And we did as well. We won it all with Inter. I would say that was our most successful season to save last season. We won 5 trophies. The 2 Super Cups at the start of the season, but also the Champions League, the Serie A, and the Coppa Italia as well. That to me was our best and most dominant season of the save. And then the Real Madrid one and done season. I would have loved to have won the Copa del Rey. I would have loved 3 trebles with 3 different teams, but it wasn't to be, and I certainly wouldn't complain about a league and European double. A dominant season in La Liga. The Champions League, we were tearing teams apart of our high-powered offense and ended up picking up my 3rd CL winners medal in 4 years in an incredible series. So that is that, guys. We are done. 8 seasons and a career mode save for the ages. I just want to say thank you so much for all the fantastic support on this series, guys. It's been incredible. You know, the start we had with Brentford, I have to say, we really struggled in the first season, and I remember thinking, goodness gracious me, you know, you guys are going to be sitting there watching this thinking, this guy's lost it, man. It took me a long time to start to get to grips of how to play against the AI on Ultimate this year and how to beat them. It's a much more challenging game mode this year, and I really like how the difficulty has increased so much. And it's one of the reasons I really enjoyed the save too. It took me a very long time to get going in the save, much longer than normal. In previous saves, I could win the Champions League in 2 years. In the end, it took 5. But even so, I'm so grateful for your support. It's been fantastic from the very first season, and after 8 years, 3 teams, 3 Champions League, and a hell of a lot of more domestic honours as well, I've had an absolute blast, and I've really enjoyed the save. It's been one of my absolute favourites. So thank you for watching, guys. Much love to you all. And I won't see you for another episode of Career Mode very soon, but I will see you for the start of my new Career Mode next weekend, and also the season finale, the highlights, the best bits, a montage of this one very soon. Much love to you all, guys. Appreciate all your support throughout, and I'll see you for a brand new Career Mode very soon.